Hi.
Hi.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting used to this new technology. This is great. This is new for me. I'm not used to having. Yeah. Usually, I'm just like, you can look at my desktop, so you don't have to see me. No, this is good. So, as people might be joining us, let's just take a moment to introduce ourselves. What do you think? So I'm Rebecca Barrios. I'm the Director of Community Engagement at the Metro Nashville Arts Commission.
And I'm Alushala Tribble. I am the Community Arts Coordinator at the Metro Arts Commission.
So we just are taking some time to talk a little bit about our Thrive microfunding program. So we'll kind of go through the nuts and bolts of the program and kind of what it means, what it would take to apply for the funding and what we're looking for in terms of applications and programs that we fund. And then we're going to open it up to some potential questions that we'll field through our Twitter page.
Yes.
So,
and if you need to get access to our Twitter, it's at MetroArts1. So tweet us directly.
So I think Alusha is going to queue up our PowerPoint presentation here, and then we can talk through the program.
Yes, it should be open already. Hold on. Sorry. There. It's not. Bear with us. This is new. So sorry. No. Wait a minute. Let's see how we can get to it. One more. It should be. Well, we're having difficulty finding our PowerPoint presentation to share. Maybe this is it. No, not quite. So
we can just talk
about
it. Yeah, we can just talk about it. So with the purpose of Thrive, we kind of feel that when you have an artistic idea that embraces community engagement and participation, that it gives new rise to art and innovation and can inspire neighborhood transformation that ultimately guarantees that Nashville thrives. So Thrive is a microfunding program that was designed to fuel artist-driven projects that engage community in the arts on the neighborhood level throughout Davidson County. Anybody can submit a proposal for this funding program, whether you're an individual artist, a business, even a not-for-profit organization if you do not receive funding through our Metro Arts Grant. And then the only kind of caveat is that you either reside in or you're conducting your program within Davidson County, and we can only pay for artists that are 18 years old or older. So those are kind of the only kind of parameters around who can apply for the funding portion of that. And you can apply for funding amounts up to $4,000 per project. And funding can be used for paying artist fees or materials and supplies that might support the project. And there are some restrictions around the types of supplies that we can pay for, but if you have questions about that, we can talk to you more about that when you go through your pre-approval phase.
Right, and we'll walk you through all of that. So if there's something that's on the line, we'll be able to clarify that for you and and tell you what's eligible and what's not.
Right. We don't require matching funds for this program, but they're definitely encouraged and can strengthen your application, particularly since we're kind of restricted in what we can fund with artist fees and supplies. Typically, a project has additional expenses that enable it to happen. So we like to see that you have those expenses covered in some way, whether it's in-kind contributions or other cash matches from other sources. So the program is really open to all artistic genres. So it can be, sound or performance art, dance, music, literary arts, fine art, theater, film and television, just kind of whatever you can think of in terms of arts activities that engage the community.
And by community engagement, I think we should be clear that we're looking for projects that in which the community is active participants in the creation process.
That's right. The idea is that the project is accessible to the general public, and as Alicia said, what we mean by the community engagement is really, they're helping to make decisions about what that art project might be, beyond delivering a program where they might just
be viewing it.
Exactly. And we can always talk through your project with you. We actually strongly encourage you to reach out to us about your ideas. We do have a pre-approval phase for the program. Before we have you fill out the longer application, we just have you fill out a simple pre-approval worksheet and a budget form, so we get an idea of what you're really thinking of, and if it's really speaking to the community engagement and neighborhood transformation and artistic excellence that we would like for the projects to have. And we'll talk a little bit more about those categories and how the scoring happens and decisions around what's funded. But I was going to talk a little bit about those pre-approval. So there was the pre-approval requirement with the form, the worksheet, and the form, and then from there, if you're invited to apply, there'll be a little bit of a longer application form where you'll have an opportunity to make any changes to your proposal that we may talk about in the pre-approval phase, and also kind of maybe tighten up your budget if there's some questions about that. And then we also ask for a current profile on NowPlayingNashville.com's artist directory for particularly the lead artists in charge of the project. CV or resume, really articulating at least 2 years of experience as an artist, whether it's showing in a gallery or performing, whatever your genre might be. I see at least 2 years of professional experience in that. Also 2 letters of recommendation, and I'll say about letters of recommendation, this is a really good opportunity for you to give voice to your community partners that you might be engaging in the project. While it's great to hear from your college art professor that you were a good student, it's really a good opportunity if you're going to partner with a school or a church or a neighborhood group, for them to kind of talk about why they're excited about the project and why they think it's really valuable to the community. We also have a vendor form that Metro requires us to fill out, that we usually have you go ahead and fill out in the application phase. And if your project involves a public artwork, or in other words, art that might exist in the public realm, we have a special form that we ask you to fill out that just gives us details about where that piece might be and who the owner is, and what the longevity of that project looks like, and things like that. So let's talk a little bit now about how we evaluate the proposals. So as I mentioned before, we're looking for artistic excellence in these projects, and that at least 2 years of experience, and like how this project might be innovative and really pushing boundaries in terms of art. Do you want to say more about that?
pretty much said it. As far, I mean, and that'll be clear as far as the resume or the CV that you submit for your lead artists, as far as that person's experience with not only creation, but perhaps facilitation in creating and making art with groups of people. And so that is something that we're very much looking for in terms of artistic excellence.
That's right. And you'll see in the pre-approval form and the final application, I mean, there's specific questions that we pose and what we're looking for in terms of this artistic excellence piece. And that's the same with all of the categories that we're looking for with neighborhood impact, community engagement. If you can answer the questions that we ask in those particular, like the sub-questions that we ask in those parts of the application, that just helps us to really fully understand how your project meets these goals. And then with neighborhood impact, we're asking, what kind of transformation or change might exist in this neighborhood because this project happens? Is that meeting a social need? Is your project happening in an area where that doesn't have much arts infrastructure? We just really like to get a scope of that. And then for community engagement, I know we keep saying this, but that really is about like authentic engagement with a community of people, to engage them really in the art making and decisions around the art, so they really get to be a part of the process. And then we also have, we're also looking for project feasibility. We know that we would love to give more than $4,000, but can your project happen given the funding that's available and timelines and
really logistics? I mean, this is, we want your project to be successful. And so a part of gauging whether or not it will be successful is if you've thought about everything as far as permits and timeline and your community partners, the level of commitment that you have from the people on your team, whether or not that part of it is together and it's working well. And so that is, so the feasibility really speaks to that.
Right. And then in terms of timelines and deadlines, we review proposals monthly. So we actually have a timeline guide on our website that kind of is a calendar, so to speak, of different deadlines and submission timelines for you to follow based on when you would like the funding to happen. So we actually, every month at our Metro Arts Commission meetings, we present proposals for our commission to approve. And those are on the third Thursday of every month. So we kind of work backwards from that in terms of those deadlines of, submitting your final application, but prior to that, your pre-approval materials.
So in other words, the Monday of every month is a good day to submit your pre-approval.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, think at least a month in advance.
Yeah.
And we will be accepting proposals through the month of May. Our funding period is from July 1st through June 30th, July 1st of this year, 2015, to June 30th of 2016. So we will have to have everything closed out and reported by June 15th. So May will be the last month we'll be able to accept any proposals. And that's provided that funding is still available. We're very fortunate to have gotten an increase in the budget for this program this year. So we have $100,000 that we can allocate for funding, which is really exciting. But when the money's out, the money's out. So we encourage you to
submit.
Yeah. Take first dibs. There's a variety of ways for you to get help with your proposal and talk to us about what your ideas are. You can always call us, you can email us. We're happy to meet in person. There's a lot of information on our website, that even some tools that we hope kind of help you to understand what we're looking for. And then we have a really exciting event.
Yes, next Wednesday. Yes.
Where you can come and meet with us and fellow artists to kind of talk about the program and what ideas you have. You want to talk to them more about that?
Yeah, well, this is a very informal gathering. It'll be at Jackalope, which is on 8th Avenue South, starting at 5 o'clock. We'll be there to talk with you and members of the community about different ideas you may have. It can be a fully formed idea, or it can be something kind of rough, like, man, I think I, have something, but I would like to flesh it out, or I don't have a partner, to do this with. And hopefully we'll be able to get a lot of connectors there. And if you don't have a partner, hopefully you'll find somebody to collaborate with, because we do want to foster creative partnerships in that way. So yeah, next Wednesday at 5 o'clock at Jackalope, we'll be there to talk and hang out. So yeah.
Very exciting. Mm-hmm. And now I was just going to talk a little briefly about kind of what happens if you do receive funding for your project. So as soon as you get the word that, hey, guess what, you was voted at our commission meeting today, you're funded, we would then ask for a revised budget if that's needed, and then you can actually send us an invoice immediately for up to 80% of your approved funding. We understand that a lot of times you need that money up front to get things rolling, so we want to do the best that we can to help your project be successful in that way as well. So and then of course you would need to be mindful of any permits or licensing or permissions that you need to get the project rolling. And we do ask you to comply with all laws and regulations in Davidson County. And then we ask you to credit us in your publicity, promotions, and printed materials related to the project. And then after your project is completed, there's a report form that we ask for you to fill out. And then you can submit your invoice for the remaining 20% of your funding. So I think that's the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, we already talked about our event.
Yeah.
The next thing. So yeah, as Rebecca said, we're always welcome. We're always looking for people to engage with us, and we're available through phone, email, tweeting, texting, Facebook, and also to meet in person if you have ideas or need help figuring out the applications or anything like that. So yeah, there aren't any questions.
No questions yet?
No questions.
Well, I just want to also just express appreciation, especially to the Metro Council, because they are really the driving force behind why this funding is available. And this is a great tool to really take art into our vibrant neighborhoods across the city. So
and to make them even more vibrant.
Exactly. So we're looking at you, artists, to help us make
and
that
community
happen.
members. And if you might not be an artist, but you know an artist,
right,
and you want to engage with them. And so we want to encourage you to apply or to help them apply, and to empower we want to empower everybody to be active art makers in our creative city.
That's right.
Yeah, well, since there aren't any questions, maybe we should say goodbye. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and this will be archived on YouTube, so if you need to go back through and listen to those points about Thrive and learn about Thrive, you're more than welcome to watch and share with other folks.
And do visit our website. I'm sorry, our presentation didn't come up to show you our emails and phone numbers, but you can find that on artsnashville.org, and there is a Thrive page underneath that website. So
yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Take care.